Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit that like and subscribe button. We have a ton of content coming out for you guys every single day. Certainly don't want to miss a thing. Don't forget to tune in on Thursdays and Tuesdays for our premiere videos with the live chat. Chance to come on in, give us suggestions for videos, any questions you may have, ideas you may have, or just in general BS with us. We always enjoy just sitting there shooting the crap with our fans. So please join us on Thursdays at 6 o'clock. I'm there every single Thursday. Amy is in on most of those as well. And the Tuesdays at 4:30. So far, I have not missed a single one. Work may interfere with that, but I'll always go back and check the logs. All of this is just leading up to our chance to start live streaming, where we'll do our craps tournament with our fans participating. Probably do a patron-only live stream craps tournament as well. Then add in some blackjack, pai gow, baccarat, whatever we can think of, and probably have a continuous craps tournament going at all times. Live stream is going to give us so many options we can do. Shout out to Wes and everybody else that's given us a super chat, super sticker tip on these live chats. It's always appreciated. Just like all of our patrons, we appreciate all those tips and support, and we hope you guys are enjoying those exclusive videos that we're putting out for you guys. Now that we're starting to put out the entire dice class, 2 videos a week, we hope you guys are enjoying it. And otherwise, we're going to go straight into today's video. So for this video, we are going to look at whether or not you should play the mid-press method or you should play the power press method. And it's going to be all based on exactly what it is you're hoping to do. The power press method is really looking for those 40-minute to hour-long rolls. At a 30-minute roll, the power press method is probably going to make some money because there's a good chance that the 30-minute roll will have broken the statistics in other directions as well, and one particular number would have hit enough times in order to pay itself off. Whereas the mid-press method, at the mid-range roll, 6-7 rolls in, you've probably already made your money back, or really, really close. So when you hit that 20-minute roll, while the 20-minute roll, the power press method might be profitable, might be really profitable if the same numbers rolled enough times, or might just barely be crossing into the profitability mark, or possibly even still stuck. The mid-press method will have made money. So let's take a look at these. I'm going to do another video where I just show how fast we can hit the table max, okay, with the power press method. But for this one, and that one will probably be based off a $25 minimum bet. So this one I'm going to base it off a $15 minimum bet. Let's say a $5,000 max bet. Okay. So we're looking at a $15 minimum bet, and I'm going to put up to. Actually, I'm only going to do 3 numbers. Because the 4 and 10 are the same, 5 and 9 are the same, 6 and 8 are the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at just hitting table max, just the numbers necessary to how many hits it takes to hit table max. And I'm going to compare the power press and the mid press just to give you guys an idea of what you guys want to do. You guys know I'm a power press player, but I do play the mid press method. If I have a smaller bankroll, mid-range bankroll. If I have a small bankroll, I'm just going to go for the power press. I'm walking away with all the chips and none of the chips. But if I'm in the middle, $1,000 to $2,000 bankroll, I may go with the mid-press method, or if I want to play for a longer amount of time. So we'll look at the 4. Okay, so if the 4 rolls, it's going to pay $27 at most places. Now the power press method is going to say stack it all up. Okay. Now this is the first roll of it, whereas the mid-press method is probably going to say just go to a quarter and give me the rest. Now when the second hit occurs, now at this point we're looking at $40 right there. So this player, the power press player, is going to throw in $2 so that they can get paid $80. And they're going to say the same thing. Stack me up. So they go to 120. This player will throw in the $1 because it's already a buy. So they're going to throw in the $1 to get paid $50. They're going to collect and go up to $50. So they're only pressing it partially. So now if you look at this, after just 2 hits, while the power press player has $120 committed onto this bet, and it's going to pay big if it hits, the mid-press player only has $50, but they've already collected $41. They have $41 sitting in front of them. Now, let's look at what happens if the third hit occurs. So this 120 has a $6 big. So it's going to pay $234, right? So if we've got $234, collect the 4, go up to 350. That's the power press player, because the idea behind the power press is you're trying to hit table max as fast as humanly possible. Now the mid press player is going to get paid $98. We don't have any browns over there, but we will throw in a red for get paid $103. Okay. So you're going to get paid $103, and they're probably just going to go up to 100. So you're going to collect 2 greens off of that. So what about roll number 4? So roll number 4. Now 350 right here. Okay, that is a $17 vig. $17 vig. It's going to pay $700 minus 17. So it's actually going to pay $683. $683. Now, again, as usual, the power press player prefers to stack everything up. Now, in this particular case, 350 is still easy, but if we start looking at 1,030, that's starting to get to be a pain in the butt. It's not super difficult, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. So they are going to collect part of it, and they're going to take themselves up to 1,000. Whereas the mid-press player is going to take themselves up to 200 and collect a black. Now, again, at this point, if you look at it, 4 hits in, power press player is at 1,000, mid-press player is at 200. So now let's look at the 5th hit. So the 5th hit in, this right here, this is looking at a $50 vig. So that's going to pay $1,950. $1,950. Go up to 2,900. 2,900. It seems like an oddball amount, but it's actually not, because you're still operating in units of 100. You know that 900 has a $45 vig, so this whole vig on this is $245. Or I'm sorry, $145. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. $145 is not difficult. So we look at the mid-press player. The mid-press player is going to get paid $400 for 10. So we'll give them $415 for a green. Now they will probably go to 500 at this point. Collect another black. So we are 5 rolls in, or 5 hits on the 4 in. 2,900 versus 500. But we look at the profit. 82 versus 274. There is a big difference right there. What about hit number 6? So now it hits 6 times. Now what did we say the table max was going to be? Table max was going to be $5,000. So let's look. 2,900. That pays 5,800 minus 145. Okay? So it's going to pay $5,655. $5,655. Now at this point, they're going to table max. $5,000. They will collect everything they have left over. This player has a $25 vig, so they throw in 25. They'll take the 5 and go up to 1,000. So the mid-press player is many beats behind the power press player, but the mid-press player is still going for it. There's not a lot of players that will play craps that will end up at a $1,000 4 after starting at a $15 4. It doesn't matter how many times the 4 hits. It could hit 30 times. They will not be at a $1,000 4, most players. This one, 5 hits in, the mid-press player is at a $1,000 4, but has also collected $749. The power press player, however, is at table max, and they have collected over $3,500. Now the difference here is what happens if these rolls continue going. If a 6th 4 hits, the power press player is going to be collecting $10,000. The mid-press player is going to probably collect $1,000 to $1,500, depending on what they want to press to, $1,500 to $2,000. Most are going to go to $2,000 at that point. If they're right next to a power presser, then they may end up seeing that and pushing on, especially because they're already up a pretty sizable amount of money. So 6 hits to go from 15 to 5,000, table max, And these are how the two are going to finish up. Now, this is why a lot of players play the mid-press method, though. Because at the 5-hit mark, the power press player still hadn't really made anything, while the mid-press player had made hundreds. And that applies to all the numbers. So let's look at the 5 and 9. Let's see the 5 and 9 and how it would work. And again, we're just going to look at a $5,000 table max, okay? $5,000 table max, nothing too crazy. When I shoot the how fast to go up the table max, I'm going to do it for a $10,000 table, 25 to 10,000. So 5 and 9. So the very first time it hits, the power press player will go all the way up to $36 because it pays 21. They're going to go all the way up to $36, whereas the mid press player is actually going to collect 11 bucks and they're going to go up to a green. Now the next time it hits, the power press player will go all the way up because it pays 50. So that's going to say, screw it, take me up to 86. Mid press player typically goes up to 35. I would throw in $1 and go to 36, but it can go either direction. Now, what about, and that's 2 hits, okay? So what about the third hit? Well, the third hit over here is going to pay $120, okay? Oops, I'm grabbing $500. It's going to pay $120. I'm actually going to shuck $80 off of this so I can go down to 200, collect $6. The power press player does still collect from time to time just to keep the bets from being too much of a pain in the butt. The mid press player is going to collect their original 36, that was the bet, and go up to 50. Okay, so that's 3 hits. 3 hits of the 5. And now let's look at this. The power press players pulled a whopping $6 in profit. The mid press player has pulled $71 in profit. And that's why so many people play the mid press method. Because you got to keep in mind, this isn't happening in a vacuum. There's other numbers that are hitting as well. So the mid press player is collecting every single roll. And it doesn't take a lot of hits of the same number before you're in the positive for your entire bet. But you're not quite as high up as the power press player. So let's look at the 4th hit. So the 4th hit, this is going to pay $280, right? Now this is one of those where it's kind of a pain in the butt, but the power press player will go all the way up to $480. A little bit of a pain in the butt, but they'll be able to make it work. Over here, this player is probably going to throw in 5, so they can get paid $75 and go up to $75. So the mid press player is only going up to $75, while the power press player is going up to $480. Right? Now, let's look at what happens when the 5th hit occurs. So what does $480 pay? Well, what does $450 pay? $450 pays $630. Let's go ahead and break that out for you guys. We'll make this easy so you guys can calculate them out as well. $450 pays $630. $30 pays $42. And there you go. That's your payout. Now, this is where the player is going to want to know what exactly it is they have to work with. So let's take a look. See what we've got to work with. $1,150. $1,150. Power press player is this time around going to keep the bet a little bit simpler and just go to 1,000, and they will collect a little bit. This player, however, gets paid $105 for 75. Probably goes to 1 1/4. Now at this point, the power press player and the mid press player are actually sitting on the same amount of money, or really close to the same amount of money. You've got $158 over there, and you've got $171 over there. So the mid-press player really has not made that much more than the power press player, but man, that power press player's bet is so much higher. Let's look at the next hit. So the next hit, what is this paid? $1,400. Okay. Now, a true power press player is going to throw in $100 and say, take me up to 25. So now what they've made a profit has actually reduced. This player right here gets paid $175. Very, very, very likely to say, take me to 200. So they collect a black. Because again, the mid press player does want to collect a little bit here and there. So the power press player at this point, they're at 2,500. If it hits, it pays 3,500. Now, we go to 5,000. 5,000 bucks. Took 7 hits. Took 7 hits to go to $5,000. This player gets $280. And this player, very likely, a mid-press player is very likely to take this one up to 350. Collected black there. So now once we hit table max for the power press player, they have already made more than the mid-press player. But again, the power press player is really, really, really hoping to hit that same number multiple times. Let's take a look at the 6 and 8. See how the 6 and 8 would work. So the 6 and 8, so the first time we get a hit, this player, the power press player, what do they have to work with? $36. All the way up. This player over here, as a mid-press player, likely just going to go to 30 and collect 6. Now the next time it hits, power press player, this is assuming they're not throwing in additional money, because some power press players most definitely are going to be throwing in additional money to these. But we'll do it without. So the second time it hits, power press player goes up to 78. Mid-press player is going to say, take me up to 42. So they're going to collect $23. And they're going to go up to 42. Third hit, 78 pays 91. What do they have to work with? That's where we take a look. Power press player, take me up to 168. Collect a buck. We'll walk you through the payout when we get to that. Mid-press player is going to say take me up to 60 because again they want to collect a little bit of money every time. So now the fourth time it hits. So let's look at this. This would pay, 150 pays 175. So let's break this down for you guys, okay? 150 pays 175, 18 pays 21. So this entire bet would pay $196. 196 bucks. Now once again, they're kind of curious of what they've got to work with. They probably would have, of course, had this figured out in advance, but because most power press players already know pretty much exactly what they are going to do. Take me up to 360. This player, take me to 90. I'm going to collect some because that's what I do. I collect a little bit of money. So we are 4 hits into this, right? 4 hits into this. The 6 is hit 4 times. Power press players actually made $5. Now again, certain situations, power press player would throw more money in, but they've made $5. The mid press player has made, look at that, they made $100. Made $100, 4 hits of the 6 into it. So that's again why so many players play the mid press over the power press. But let's keep looking at going to table max. So 360 would pay 420. So 420, what do you have to work with? Take a look. And see. Well, you've got 600 right there that you know is a proper bet, plus the 150. Go to 750. Collect some, or go to 780, because you know that's all proper. And go up to 780 bucks. I forgot to mark it, so that was the next hit, 5th hit. This player, a lot of mid-press players here are going to go to 150. They may go to 120, but a lot of mid-press players are going to go to 150 right there. So now, let's look at hit number 6. So, this one's kind of an oddball one, right? We're at $780. So let's break this down for you guys. 600 would pay 700, right? What does 180 pay? Well, what does 18 pay? 18 pays 21, so 180 would pay 210. And now, once again, we are looking at what we have to work with. me to 1,500. Yes, there's other presses that could be done even higher, but now is where we're looking at simpler bets, easier bets. So 150 pays 175. A lot of ways that you could do this, a lot of different ways. I would personally go to 240. But some players are only going to go to 210, which is, again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's still a mid-press and you're still collecting money. But I would go to 240. Now, that was hit number 6. Hit number 7. Hit number 7. What does this pay? Again, let me break it down for you guys. So 1,200 pays 1,400, right? What does 300 pay? It pays 350, right? So I'm going to pay 550 for 2 just to make it a little bit easier to figure out. Again, what do we have to work with? Take me to 3,000. Most players are going to say take me to 3,000 here, just to keep the bet a little bit simpler. We're 240 here. That's going to pay 280. Now, if you're at 240, and it pays 280, a lot of mid-press players are probably going to say take me to 300 because they want to get to an easy unit to work with. And that's an easy unit to work with. So they're going to say take me to 300. So that was 7 hits. Now the 8th hit, hit number 8. What does 3,000 pay? What does 30 pay? 30 pays 35. So 3,000 pays 3,500. Right? Now we said we were going to go to table max. So table max, if you're in a $5,000 max bet table, there's a really good chance that your table max is actually 5,400 on the 6 and 8. So we'll go to 5,400 right there. 300 pays 350. What is this player likely to do? Probably go to 420. $420, pay 490. That's 600 right there. 680. Got 1,545. So these are the differences between the mid-press and power press. I'm not going to endorse either side of this. I just wanted to show you. You can see what happens as the rolls get longer and longer. In the middle range, which, keep in mind, this middle range, when these numbers are hitting 3-4 times, this is actually a really good roll. This is probably a 10 to 15 minute roll, or just one of those really odd outlier rolls where the same number is hitting multiple times. I've seen the same number roll 4 times in a row and it was actually a 10. Now keep in mind with this mid-press to power press thing, all it takes is one more to hit and the power press player is raking in mega bucks in comparison to the mid-press player. But the mid-press player, over time, generally the mid-press player, from my experience, will play longer before getting knocked out, or will make money on the mid-range rolls and end up leaving the table up, while the power press player is still looking for that 40-50 minute roll and they're actually down money. So it's up to you guys how you want to play it. I have seen, however, the power press players that are in on a 20-minute roll, they're the only one playing, so it's the equivalent of like a 45-minute roll on another table because the dice are just flying, where they've colored up $60,000, $70,000 off of a $500 buy-in, a $300 buy-in. So up to you guys how you guys want to play it. I just wanted to show you how these look as the roll is progressing. And you notice the mid-press player is making money. The power press player is not, until all of a sudden the power press player is swimming in the money like Scrooge McDuck. So again, up to you guys what you want to play. Just wanted to offer you guys these options. Thank you very much for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.